Hello, this is a large SUV. The shape might be familiar to you if you've been looking into vehicles that can both tow and also hold a lot of people and stuff in them. This is a 2016 model year, and being that this video is being shot in July of 2022, it's not entirely new to the world. If you're located in the North American region, the shape might remind you of a Nissan Armada. If you're located elsewhere in the world, you're more likely to refer to this as a Nissan Patrol, and you'd be correct on both accounts. In select markets though, Nissan offered the same vehicle as a different model called Infiniti. So this is an Infiniti QX80, and this one here is a limited edition. So the limited package was offered in late 2015, as a 2015 model year, and I wanted to talk about it a little bit. I've curated my channel as a place where I talk about cool stuff if I can afford it and if I can lay my hands on it, but I also try my best to cover basics. You could always teach something to somebody, right? We always learn, and I also learn new stuff. So at some point I would like to cover the beginning of this video: Nissan Patrol, Nissan Armada, and Infiniti QX80. What's the difference between a QX80 and a Nissan Armada, especially in the North American market? But in today's video, I'd like to specifically talk about the limited package. What exactly is limited? So I'll do my best to make this video not too long, but I'll talk about the Infiniti QX80, the basics, right? So the Infiniti QX80, well, this model, or this generation of Infiniti QX80, was introduced to us as an Infiniti QX56, and in 2014, when Nissan changed the naming scheme to QX80, everything was called a QX, or a Q, let's say a Q. This one was named as a QX80, so that's 2014. In 2015, they actually changed the look, and this is what that looks like. So the headlights look a little different, the taillights, I believe, might be a little different. I can't remember. It doesn't usually jump out at me whenever I look at a 2014 versus a 2015. And they have the 5.6 VK56 VD engine for 400 horses, I think, and 413 in torque, foot-pounds of torque. So generally, all of them are pretty much the same, and they're pretty well equipped. Okay, so talking about the Infiniti QX80 specifically, these vehicles come pretty well loaded. The features that you get in a base model Infiniti QX80 would have to be upgraded packages in different vehicles. I'll give a few examples: remote start, heated front seats, all-around view camera, the 360-degree camera, not just a backup camera, the one that shows you the top of the car, then navigation, Bluetooth audio, Bluetooth for music, just as an example. So these vehicles come pretty well loaded, but Infiniti offered 6 packages, if I remember correctly, and I'll try to explain what those packages are until I get to the limited package, the highest trim. Okay, so first thing, you had a base model, that's great, but then you have what was called a driver assistance package, and I'll get a little closer. Driver assistance package came with enhanced safety features like lane departure warning, forward collision warning, you have that sensor over there. Basically, if you had that cut out, if you saw a car, or an SUV, an Infiniti QX80 with that cut out, at least it's one step above base, because it's got those things. And inside, I believe, if you look at the steering wheel, this is what it's going to look like. Or here, these things right here. So this tells you have the warnings. At least you've got the package that gives you enhanced safety. And then you have something else called a theater package. And the theater package gave you 2 7-inch screens, one here, another one there. In addition to that, you would get heated seats, heated outboard seats. So in the second row, you'd get heated left and right seat. And it was required that for you to get the theater package, you would have to have the driver assistance package. So again, if you were looking at something for sale and then you saw that they had the 2 screens in the back, you would know that at minimum they also have the additional safety features. Oh, before I forget, with the theater package, it adds something else. So with the third row, this is what you do: pull this and you can get it in the back, right? The theater package though adds a little spice to this thing because it gives you remote tip-up, is what they call it. These buttons right here, when you flip this, your seats flip down remotely or fold up remotely. Let me do it with that seat right there. Like that. Yeah, so again, that's a QX80 only. There's no Armada that can give you that feature. So depending on what package you get, you might find it pretty much standard, but if you have a base model QX80, you're not gonna have that. Okay, that's two. They also had something else called a split bench package, and this is what that looked like. So this right here is what they call the captain's chairs. So this makes the vehicle a 7-seater. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. However, they had a bench package. For the bench package, you also were required to have the theater, and which means you were also required to have the safety stuff, the driver assistance stuff. And that was a 60-40 splitting, and I believe it split right there. So you had this, and that would split independently. That's the third package. The third, well, fourth, I guess, by sequence, but it's right at the same level as the bench seating package. We had another package called the wheel and tire package, and a base model Infiniti QX80 comes with 20-inch wheels, so that's already bigger than an Armada, right? But these wheels are 22-inch wheels. The other specs are the same, width, offset, all that stuff should be the same, but now you get the 22-inch wheels with 22-inch, appropriately sized tires. You were required to have the other packages as well. The first two I mentioned, you were required to have the driver assistance, and number two, you were required to have the theater package. So if you were shopping and you saw an Infiniti QX80 with that design wheel, just talking about not the color, just the shape, you would know that, okay, at least we have, quite a few different packages loaded on here. So that's 4 down. Number 5 is now this is where I considered wanting to buy, because you could just say I'm fancy, whatever. But this other one is called the Deluxe Technology package. Now with the Deluxe Technology package, I think different models might have called it Deluxe Touring, but what it is with the Deluxe package is you have chrome mirror caps. So whenever I was shopping, first thing I would always look at is, what do the mirror caps look like? And it's always a gamble because people could modify their vehicles to do those things. But the Deluxe Touring, again, prerequisites were those first 3, except the bench seat. No one really forced you to get a bench seat, but you were required to have the driver assistance package. Number 2, you were required to have the theater package, and you were required to have the wheel and tire package. So if you saw a vehicle with chrome caps, mirror caps, assuming that they were not added after the fact, you would know that at least it's as loaded as loaded can be. In addition to the chrome mirror caps, let me point out other things that you might be able to see about a Deluxe Technology package. So the one that jumps at me most easily is that I've mentioned that a standard Infiniti QX80 has heated front seats. Deluxe Technology package has heated and cooled front seats, and that was very easy for me to see, because as long as sellers took pictures reasonably, the standard one will have a switch over here, though it looks like what you see in the back, but then whenever you have a knob, at least you'd know that it is one step further. The second thing is, and I might need a little bit of correction on this, please check my information on this. So you've got the driver assistance package, which kicks up your safety a notch higher. You have warnings for different systems, and it said this is what you get. You have, with the Deluxe Technology package, you have interventions. Now, not only is it going to warn you, for example, that there's something in your blind spot, if you try to jump over to that lane, it's going to bring you back. I think it does a little better with the forward collision warning. I believe it can do, the intelligent cruise control stuff is a little better. I believe that. I might need to actually check it, but I'll be honest, I don't know for sure because I've never really engaged with the other with the other trims. Usually when I test it, I'd usually make sure that I got something with that button right there. Another thing about it is that these ones usually have automatic AFS, automatic front lighting system. So right here, QX80s usually have a knob, and this knob, turning it up and down, dips your headlights or raises them depending on your load in the back. And I think that that's something Nissan should consider taking away from people. Just have it automatic, you know, because your average driver doesn't really know how high it's going and things like that, unless you can see the road. So here, this one is smooth. That's gone because it has a sensor in the back, and depending on how low you go, it can, you know, it starts correcting the headlights by itself. It also allows a swiveling whenever you're driving. So I think that's a pretty cool thing. The other thing about it is seating surfaces. I talked about cool seats. I should talk about this. They have semi-aniline leather, better leather, softer material basically. And with the Deluxe Touring, you usually see these patterns right here on the seats, and this is special. We're not going to cover that part of it. And on the door panels, you'd see these, because if you looked at a base model QX80, this is usually all the way smooth. And this is something that I've carried along over different models. The Infiniti M models were like that. Infiniti FX models were also like that, whereby you got better quilting for getting, you know, the deluxe pet. I might have called it Deluxe Touring, but Deluxe Technology. That's what they used to call it, Deluxe Touring in the past. Then something else I also wanted to mention. Now I'm getting to features that you can't see, but they're there. The standard Infiniti QX80 comes with 13 speakers with a Bose system. The Deluxe Technology package gives you 15 speakers. I don't really know where they are. They have additional 2 speakers, but you get 15 speakers. And the base system is Bose with driver center. I forgot what they call it. Center stage driver. It has a way to change the equalization to give the driver the best, you know, hearing experience. The Deluxe Technology package gives you 15 speakers, but also gives you 5.1 channel decoding. Basically, it gives you 5.1 surround sound, and trust me, it works. It works. When you have a vehicle like this, it's a big box in itself. They do a pretty good job of, you know, of delivering that sound. And some people don't like Bose systems, but for my tastes, this is why I keep going back to Nissans. They're good. They're not the punchiest when it comes to bass. They're not the loudest, but I think for the things I listen to and the way I like my music, it's really good. Okay, so things that you can see, things that you cannot see. I think this package also, Deluxe Technology package, also adds like footwell lighting for the rear or something like that. Now, here's a big one that you cannot see. So all Infiniti QX80s come with air support struts in the back, right? To kind of help you depending on the load. If you load it up and you try to, if it squats in the back, the air compressor is supposed to make up for that and lift it back up. Okay, that's standard. Deluxe Technology package adds something else, and this one is called HBMC, Hydraulic Body Motion Control. It is a hydraulic system, and the hydraulic system, how do I put this? There's no better way to put this except saying it gives the vehicle a Cadillac ride, or maybe an S-Class ride. I think that might be a little more appropriate, because yes, it is very smooth over relatively bumpy roads. You know, you're pretty isolated, but it's not just about isolation, because you can do that with springs. This system allows you to also handle fairly flat around corners. It's not going to be like a 370Z. It's not going to be like a Lotus or a Porsche by any means, but it is pretty good. And I hope in the near future to be able to showcase that feature. HBMC is worth the hype. Now, that's a feature that you cannot get in the Nissan Armadas at all. And that's one of the reasons I wanted to get this. Again, I'm foreshadowing what will be spoken about in those in the later videos. So again, it's hydraulic. It's hydraulic cartridges, or no, hydraulic shocks in all the corners. It's not very active. I don't think so. It's not predictive. It's not like magic body control, like a Benz where it sees it coming and it reduces, you know, shrinks, and it's not that. But for a vehicle of this size, especially since this one does not have any of the expensive, height adjustments and things like that. It's just in one level. I think Nissan does pretty well with that system in it. And it replaces the sway bars front and rear. It's an interesting thing. It's one of those things we usually say. Sometimes the things that are most important about these higher trims, you just have to drive. You just have to experience it. If you looked at it on paper, you'd say, why would I pay $5,000, $10,000 more for a vehicle like that? You have to drive it to know the difference. So again, remember, those are the different packages. Basic, right? Base package. Then number 1, you had the driver assistance. Number 2, you had the theater package. Number 3 and 4, tying over there, you had the wheel and tire package, or you had the bench package. That's 4, right? Number 5, you have the Deluxe Technology package. And now that brings us home to the limited package, because as a requirement for the limited package, you needed to have the Deluxe Technology package. To get the Deluxe Technology package, you needed to have wheel and tire, you needed driver assistance and theater. So if you got this one, this was the Mac Daddy of the QX80, at least in this model range. So the simplest way to explain the limited package is that it's an appearance package. That's all I can say about it. The easiest way for me to tell, one, you could look at the wheels. The wheels have a dark finished look to them. So yeah, you could tell, but people paint their wheels. The taillights are different. They are described as darker, but I guess I see them for the chrome. And they just look different. They're not all red, is what I can say about it. So yeah, maybe that dark chrome does give it that difference. And then maybe not this one here, but this to me looks a little darker than regular chrome. And I think looking at them beside each other, you can tell the difference. Here, the chrome looks similar as the standard chrome to me. The mirror caps are not just chrome, they're darker chrome, smoke chrome if you want to call them that. I can't quite tell. Sometimes I'm not the best at telling the difference, but this does not look like that for sure. Dark chrome A-pillar finisher on the outside. The chrome is the same. The roof rails, roof rack rails are darker, a dark finish. You can see that. Okay. Come to the front of the vehicle. The headlights are supposed to be darker as well than your standard one. I can't tell exactly, but the grille is definitely different. Darker chrome around that, darker chrome around the lower grille as well. Yeah, that's pretty evident. And here I am. Well, since I'm now at the front, I need to mention this. As part of the Deluxe Technology package, you got headlamp washers. So this was not just restricted to the limited package. As I said, limited is just an appearance. They're just dark smoke. Think about it as dark smoke package. At least on the outside, that's what it is. Okay. And then the other thing on the outside that at least catches them. I can't remember if this is supposed to be darker or not. See, I can't tell. I'd have to get different chrome to compare with that. And then on the outside, we also have this. The running board is stainless steel with rubber, so looks a little different. The door handles, I think the door handles were supposed to be darker too, weren't they? Looks a little darker to me, but again, think about it as dark trim. That's all the, on the outside, that's all it was. Now let's go inside. Oh yeah, before I go inside, before I forget, this might come out better when I do the nighttime video, but the limited trim actually had under running board lighting. Let me unlock maybe. Oh, I don't know, but it does have lighting underneath the running board. So the limited actually shines in the interior. To me, that's where it really pops, because for one, you get this truffle leather. Same semi-aniline material, but the quilting pattern is a little different. As you can tell, you've got these truffle leather all over. I can't remember if the wood trim was way different for the limited or if this started with the deluxe trim, because the deluxe technology also looked different. Same thing here. And you can tell that they have contrast piping, right? Look at that. More silver-like is what I'd call it. Stainless steel controls in certain places. Look at that. This is really nice. If I haven't mentioned it, all Infiniti QX80s had heated steering wheels. Okay. So yeah. Right now I have the factory rubber floor mats, but they usually got special floor mats for the limited edition or the limited package. The other thing I'd talk about is leather, just the amounts of leather and binding. All the grab handles are leather and stitched like that. You know, all over. Even the ones in the back. Yep, there you go. And then I guess while we're here, you can tell that this has got the ultra suede headliner. Nice and smooth. All the way in the back. And then I can't remember about the silver or the chrome grill guard, but we're talking about leather. Maybe not here, but here. Leather bound speaker. Leather everywhere. Yeah. Trying to see this. No leather here. I can't remember this if so all limiteds came with truffle brown, you know, and smooth or soft leather. I can't remember about the colors. I think limiteds were offered in 3 colors. I think only 3 colors, you know, or maybe they had 3 additional colors over the standard. So the brown, this is quite rare. I know they have white. They have a black that might remind you of Malbec black, which was, you know, the purplish black. So there was that as well. But as I said, I think the most evident thing about them is the taillights. At least when I look at them, you know, if I don't see the wheels, I see the taillights. I can't for sure remember if the stoplight up top was different. The CHMSL, center high mount stoplight. I can't remember if that's a little different, if all of them are that color, or if they're, you know, if they're usually red. I can't remember that part, but yeah. So I hope this video does shed a little bit of light on the limited package. Is it the best? I think according to Infiniti, yes it is. Is it the best for you though? I don't know. And that's why I do videos like this, because you watch this video and you say, well, you know what, man, that's not worth it to me. I'd rather just buy my own deluxe technology package and I'll do my own, you know, chrome delete, do it properly because you want to make all your chrome disappear, for example. Deluxe, or rather, sorry, the limited is more of an appearance package. If you don't care about those things, then a deluxe technology package is what you need. And maybe I could talk about this in a little more depth with regards to what exactly are the trim differences, you know, as to how, when shopping, how do you tell what package you have? Is the deluxe technology package actually worth it? I think it is, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it's the right thing for everybody. I've heard this. It's not a wrong opinion. Let me just say this first. But I've heard people say, I don't want to buy one with all the features because that's more stuff to break. And my argument towards that is that, first, you are correct. When you increase complexity, you increase the number of components that are going to fail. That is a fact. However, in my experience with Infinitis, everything usually works all the way to the end. I've had Infinitis with like 300,000 miles, and all the features work like they did when brand new. So to me, I'm never afraid of it. And I suppose the way the ownership of this vehicle has been set up I shouldn't have a problem repairing anything that requires it. But in my searches, I did notice, I had looked at a different one, a white one in Indianapolis, listed by, reach out to me if you're looking at that one. But in Indianapolis, they were asking for about $34,000 for it. I noticed the front heated and cooled seat was not functioning at all. It was neither heating nor cooling. And the rear, this side seat, was not functional either. Now, that is not a limited problem. Neither, maybe you could look at it as a Deluxe Technology problem, but not 100. I wouldn't throw all the blame on it. Again, I hope this video helps and in a way has helped to shed light and explain why there is this hype about the limited package. And I hope it's educated you well enough, if you're still waiting to buy one, as with enough information to know whether it's worth the hassle, because I promise you, it took some time to get a proper limited package, close enough, cheap enough, and all those things to work out in my favor. I'd seen a few, but things were just not working. Again, over the next few months, and basically as long as I own the vehicle, I intend to keep doing more videos, and I intend to share more about the one that I'm really looking forward to, even on my end, is Infiniti QX80 versus a Nissan Armada. Why would you get one over the other, you know? And maybe when you see all these different packages and you say, well, you know, those don't really matter to me, you'd want to switch back to an Armada. They're cheaper, usually cheaper, but not guaranteed. They're pretty expensive when I was looking. But again, I was looking at platinum models, so there's that.